All right, Sophie, I started our recording. I just want to see if this works. Okay, perfect. So the camera's covered. I want you to look at the computer screen and tell me which passage you would like to read. What is interesting to you? That way you enjoy reading it when we go to ask some questions.
The treasure hunt?
Cool. I like that one. That sounds interesting. All right, I'm gonna write it down. All right, turn this back to me. All right, perfect. All right, Sophia, so how have you been? How you doing? Excited for today? You excited for your vacation?
Yeah.
Nice. So you'll go away, and then once you come back, we'll have 2 more sessions to do. Sound okay to end off the summer? All right. Sure. Oh my goodness, I've been a little stuffy. Okay. Fine. All right. So how do you feel about reading? Let's start a little warm up. What are your favorite things to read? How do you feel about reading? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's hard? Do you think it takes a lot of time? What do you think?
I like reading. Like, because I'm a good reader.
Nice.
And like, it's fun to read.
What do you like reading?
Sometimes usually I like reading like, non-fiction.
So like
Like,
like you like informational stuff?
yes, sometimes. But then like, usually I read like fiction. Over the summer, and then like I like reading about like what surprises.
You like mysteries maybe? Oh, yeah, it sounded like you picked a good one, The Great Treasure Hunt, right? That was it sounds already like a good mystery. All right. Have you already started reading chapter books? Good. It's awesome. It's good to build your stamina for reading. Push yourself a little more and more, always, to read a little more. All right. Oh, that reminds me. So you said the treasure hunt, right? Your mom let me connect to the printer, so I'm gonna print this passage. Okay. And now remember, this is going to be a little bit longer, okay? So it's going to be like one of those tests that you do in school. You read a couple pages and then you answer some questions, okay? Do you know where your printer is? Okay, do you think you can grab those for me? It'll be 7 pages. Ready?
Mhm.
Awesome. All right.
I think it's in the left or no.
Yeah, it usually that's okay.
It's the opposite.
No worries. Right. I can't wait to hear about this story. All right. So we will leave this for um the last thing we're gonna do, okay? Because I want you to have whatever time you need on this. So we have a couple other things we're gonna try, and then we'll do that later. Okay? Remember, it's an hour and 15 minutes today, so you absolutely can take a break whenever you need. Okay? Do you have your pencils?
Yes.
All right. So we are gonna do another Dibbles maze assessment. Okay, Sophia, so this is going to be a timed assessment. I'll give you 3 minutes. You're going to read through the sentences and choose which word you think belongs. Okay? I want you to try to not get stuck on one, right? If you get stuck, remember it's time. So you want to move on to the next one. Just leave it blank. Okay? All right. So I want you to do your best. Just do a nice, steady, calm read. I'm going to put the timer on.
For how long?
3 minutes. You may begin.
My family lives in a two-story house on a dead end street with a little porch and a
Coming. You can read it out loud if it helps you. Really nice work. do those later. Or you know what? Let's go through it together. Why not? My family lives in a two-story house on a dead-end street with a little forest where it ends. The trees there are all evergreen trees. They grow so close together you've got to turn sideways to get through. It is always cool and dark in my forest. In my forest. Is that the best option there? I get what you're saying, right? Because it's saying my family lives in a two-story house on a dead-end street with a little forest where it ends. But is that their forest? You got it. One day I left my bike lying on its side and walked into the evergreens. My feet made no sound on a thick carpet of brown pine needles. Good job. It was so still I could hear my own breath and even a heartbeat. And even my heartbeat. Finally, I came out of the cool and dark forest into the hot sun. I saw then that I was standing on the edge of a big hollow. As far as I could see, there was nothing but sand. It was a desert. Good job. Awesome. Really nice work. Put these off to the side. Need to bring like a little stapler maybe next time. Good job. Okie dokie. All right, now I'm going to do these two assessments here. The first one is called Purpose for Reading Interview, and this is from the Stahl book that I had copied. Right. So this is just a little interview. So like when you get older and you go on a job interview, they're going to ask you questions and you're going to have to answer whatever you think personally, right? So there's no wrong answers. Cool? So what do you think makes someone a good reader?
If they know how to pronounce words, and if they can read big words, and they know if they can be a good reader, right? They could.
Like what does that mean, being a good reader?
They pronounce words, they read big words. They can read like lots of paragraphs or like chapter books.
Yeah, they can read for long, maybe very long.
Yeah.
Stories. Anything else? When you're reading something for class, how do you know when you're done?
When you finished, when it says the end, or when you get to the last page, or the last word.
Should a person read everything at about the same speed? Why do you think that? You think you should read everything at the same speed?
So that like you guys sound like super fast, so like this. Like I like ice cream. Like I like ice cream.
Good job.
So
We
like
call that
I
choppy
like
reading.
ice cream.
Right.
I like
But so nice and steady.
it's like chocolate ice cream. The sprinkles on top. Now I like chocolate ice cream with sprinkles on top. What type of ice cream do you like?
Right. Okay. Next one. What do you do when something doesn't make sense when you're reading?
What do you do when something does not make sense? If you could skip it or try and pronounce it, or skip it and go back to it, or try and like to pronounce it. Like if I couldn't spell China, I was like pronounce it and
What if you're like reading a sentence or two and you don't understand it?
you can ask somebody for help.
Okay.
Teacher or your parents.
All right. What would make you a better reader?
Me,
What do you think? How can you be a better reader? What do you think? What things can you do to get better at reading?
read a chapter book.
Okay, start reading more, right? Reading more chapter books. What else?
And by reading nonfiction.
Okay, good. How else can you be a better reader? What do you think? Can you read faster? Can you maybe understand the stories more? What do you?
Maybe I can understand this.
Okay, yeah. Okay. What do you think about while you're reading a story?
The story.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in the story?
Okay, good. What do you think about while you're reading a book with lots of information?
Think of what I think of like the information in my head, so that if like I answer a question or something that I would know.
Good. Okay. Okay, dokie. All right. Now I have, this one will be a little bit longer, but I'm going to go through this with you, okay? So this one's called the Index of Reading Awareness, same book. And this is in a multiple choice format, okay? The index for reading can be administered in a group. We're going to do it individually, okay? And then we are going to use a key. So I will do all of the reading. You just need to answer in the best that you can and answer honestly, okay? All right, so what is the hardest part about reading for you? Is it sounding out the hardest words? When you don't know, when you don't understand the story? Or nothing is hard about reading for you?
When I don't understand this.
What would help you become a better reader? If more people would help you when you read? Reading easier books with shorter words? Or checking to make sure you understand what you read?
Checking to make sure I understand what I read.
Okay. What is special about the first sentence or two in a story? The options are they always begin with once upon a time. The first sentences are the most interesting. They often tell what the story is about.
They often tell what the story is about.
Good. How are the last sentences of a story special? They are exciting action sentences. They tell you what happened, or they are harder to read.
They tell you what happened.
Good. So just grab something. One second, sorry. Sorry, honey. Okay. Use your bathroom. All right, let's continue. Okay. All right. So how can you tell which sentences are the most important ones in the story? They're the ones that tell the most about the characters and what happens. They're the most interesting ones. All of them are important. So how can you tell which sentences are the most important ones in the story? What do you think? They're the ones that tell the most about the characters and what happens. They're the most interesting ones. All of them are important. What do you think?
A. They're the ones that tell the most.
Good. Good job. All right. If you could only read some of the sentences in a story because you were in a hurry, which would you read? Read the sentences in the middle of the story, read the sentences that tell you the most about the story, or read the interesting, exciting sentences.
The sentences that tell the most about the story.
Good job. When you tell other people about what you read, what do you tell them? What happened in the story? The number of pages in the book? Or who the characters are? If you want to tell somebody about a book.
Can you see the options?
Yep. What happened in the story? The number of pages in the book? Or who the characters are?
What happened in the story?
Good. If the teacher if the teacher told you to read the story to remember the general meaning, what would you do? Skim through the story to find the main parts. Read all of the story and try to remember everything. Read the story and remember all the words.
Read the story and try to remember everything.
Before you start to read, what kind of plans do you make to help you read better? You don't make any plans, you just start reading. You choose a comfortable place. You think about why you are reading. So before you start to read, what kind of plans do you make to help you read better? You don't make any plans, you just start reading. You choose a comfortable place. You think about why you are reading. Number 10, almost done. Halfway. If you had to read very fast and could only read some words, which ones would you try to read? Read the new vocabulary words because they are important. Read the words that you could pronounce, or read the words that tell the most about the story.
Read the words that tell the most about the story.
What things do you read faster than others? Books that are easy to read, when you've read the story before, or books that that have a lot of pictures.
Books that I've read before.
Why do you go back and read things over and over again? Because it's good practice, because you didn't understand it, or because you forgot some words.
Because you forgot some words.
Sure. You want to do our 5-minute now? What's that? Ready?
Mhm.
That wasn't a full 5, so we can still take a 5 in a little while, right? Before we do our heavy reading.
I'm not sure.
I was like 2.5 minutes, right?
That's usually what we do for the little thing.
Got it. All right. So just a couple more questions, okay? What do you do if you come to a word and you don't know what it means? Do you use the words around it to figure it out? Ask someone else? Or go on to the next word? What do you do if you come to a word and you don't know what it means? Do you use the words around it to figure it out? Ask someone else? Or go on to the next word? I think.
The words around it.
What do you do if you don't know what a whole sentence means? Read it again. Sound out all the words. Think about other sentences in the paragraph.
What was the first option?
Read it again. Sound out all the words or think about the other sentences in the paragraph.
Think about the other sentences.
What parts of the story do you skip as you read? The hard words and parts you don't understand? The unimportant parts that don't mean anything to the story? Or you never skip anything?
Never skip anything.
If you are reading for a story for fun, what would you do? Look at the pictures to get the meaning, read the story as fast as you can, or imagine the story like a movie in your head. So if you're reading a story for fun, what would you do? Look at the pictures to get meaning, read the story as fast as you can, or imagine the story like a movie in your head.
Imagine the story like a movie.
Cool. If you are reading for science or social studies, what would you do to remember the information? Ask yourself questions about the important ideas, skip the parts you don't understand, or concentrate and try hard to remember it. So if you're reading for science or social studies, what would you do to remember the information? Ask yourself questions about the important ideas, skip the parts you don't understand, or concentrate and try hard to remember it.
Concentrate and try hard to remember.
If you are reading a test, which would help the most? Read the story as many times as possible. Talk about it with somebody to make sure you understand it. Say the sentences over and over.
Say the sentences over and over.
If you are reading a library book to write a report, which would help you the most? So if you're reading a library book to write a report, which would help you the most? Sound out all the words you don't know? Write it down in your own words? Or skip the parts you don't understand?
Write it down in your own words.
Good. Which of these is the best way to remember a story? Say every word over and over. Think about remembering it. Write it down in your own words. So which of these is the best way to remember a story? Say every word over and over. Think about remembering it. Write it down in your own words. Say every word over and over.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Nice work. We just pour these really quick before you lose track. Do you want to take the rest of your break? Because then we're going to get into the reading. Okay? All right, go for it. We'll do like 3 minutes. Okay? Perfect. All right, Sophia, you ready, honey? Ready? Right. Okay, so we have about 30 minutes, okay? Yeah, it did. You've been doing a lot of hard work. So I want you to read through this passage, okay? It's like just about 3 pages. Take your time. I'm not going to have you answer the questions this time, okay? After you read, we're going to show the camera, we're going to do the narrative retelling record, okay? This is Stahl Strategies book. I'm sorry, this is from McAndrews. This is a McAndrews document, the retelling form, comprehension, retelling, and questioning. So,
tomorrow, are we going to answer the questions tomorrow?
No, we don't need to. That's okay. We did a little bit of the questions. I just want you to be able to read through this, get comfortable, read it, and remember it, and be able to tell me. So these are some of the things you're going to want to tell me, right? So you begin with an introduction, you name the main characters, describe the characters, tell me about where it happens, what's happening, if there's a solution, things like that. Okay? You got it. I underlined it, okay? Right.
Yeah, because this is the...
You got it. Right. I have to just run to the bathroom really quick for an emergency, okay? Okay.
Josh felt butterflies in his step as his mom's car turned into the driveway of his grandparents' farm. As soon as the car stopped at the top of the driveway, he leaned out. "Don't forget your suitcase," his mom called, but Josh didn't hear her because he was so excited about being at the farm for the year. Since he could remember, he had spent a week at the farm during the summer break for the school. Josh remembered how last year Grandpa said he would teach Josh to fish. Josh couldn't wait. "Hi, Grandpa," he said as he pulled him from the school. He rushed forward to give his grandma a big hug. "I'm so happy you came. I have a huge surprise for you." His grandma said, "Your cousin Andrew is staying this week with us too." Andrew came into the kitchen. She said, "Hi, Josh. I found something really neat. Upstairs in the attic earlier. Do you want to see?" As the two ran up the steps, Josh wondered what Andrew could have found. He loved playing in the attic of his grandparents' house because it was full of toys his mom and his uncles had played with him with when they were children. "It's over here in the corner," said Andrew. She held up the huge dusty green box. On the front of the box were words, "Young Explorers." "Isn't it cool?" she said. "Do you think we can use it?" "What do you mean?" asked Josh. "You'll see," his cousin smiled. They opened the kit and found a compact canteen, a shovel, and a brown leather bag. Josh opened the leather bag. Inside he saw a rolled up piece of paper with a string tied around it. As he took off the string and unrolled it, he realized what it was. "It's a treasure map," he explained. He saw the map had drawing of his grandparents' farm. There was also a note that said, "Find me and you will smart." Andrea asked, "Do you think it's real? Could there really be a treasure on the farm?" "There's only one way to find out." Wait, sorry. I just need to look at where I just took. Okay, there's only one way to find out. Could there be treasure? Oh, okay, so Andre asked, "Do you think it's real? Could there really be treasure on the farm?" "There's only one way to find out. We'll have to follow the map and find out what it leads to." Just then they heard a voice calling from downstairs. "Just come and say goodbye. Your mom's leaving now." Josh ran downstairs and gave his mom a hug. As soon as she had left, his grandpa said, "It's getting dark. Please go tell Grandpa it's time to eat dinner. Maybe we can all play out." game before we go to bed. Josh realized that they would have to wait until the next day to go explore during it. And he and Andrea told their grandparents about the map. Grandma just laughed and
Thanks for being so
said
patient.
she remembered Andrea's father and Josh spending hours in the woods that the spies kid. I bet they buried treasure that hope someone will find it. She said it sounds like something they would have done. I'll pack you to a special picnic tomorrow. You can spend the day exploring. You can even use the canteen if you bring it down for me to clean today. You can even bring for me to clean today. Josh and Andrea looked at each other and smiled. Andrea ran upstairs and brought back down the canteen for Grandma to clean. After dinner, they all played cards for a few hours. Grandma made Andrea a Josh hot cocoa to drink. Then they taught them how to play. Crazy 8. Josh won 3 games of cards, and Andrea won 4 games of cards. Suddenly, Grandpa yawned and said, I know really sounds like you should go to bed. You got a lot to do tomorrow. Josh and Andrea were going to sleep in the guest room. Within a few minutes, Andrea was late to sleep. Josh was so excited that he couldn't fall asleep. He thought about how much different the farm was from the apartment building where he lived. All he heard in his apartment building was dogs and neighbors' dogs and the boys in the cars rushing past the nearby freeway. On the farm, he could hear birds singing. And the mooing of Grandpa's cattle. At night, he could hear the crickets chirp and the sounds of the birds in the nearby trees. He especially looked forward to sitting with Grandpa on the lawn front porch and watching the fireflies come out. Watching the fireflies come out. The next thing Josh knew, Andrea was pushing on his shoulder, saying, Get up, sleepyhead, it's morning, and we're going to find the treasure today. Normally, Josh could have yelled at Andrea for waking him, but his eyes pooped wide open, and he heard the word treasure. He got dressed quickly and went down to eat breakfast. As he looked at the pile of food in the front of him, he thought about how much he ate at the farm. He soon realized that lunch would be more of the same. I made you both peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Grandma said, and he also put in some apple slices, potato chips, and a couple of oranges. How's that on your trip? I want you back to the farmhouse by Saturday. I have dinner ready. Josh and Andrea got out their map after breakfast. They discovered that the treasure was buried beneath an old oak tree. They have to hike up a big hill behind the farm, and then through the apple orchard. They would have to walk across a small creek. Josh put the leather bag holding their lunch over his shoulder. Andrea decided to carry the cart full of water. Josh and Andrea hiked over a big hill, the farmhouse. Josh asked Andrea what she thought the treasure would be. Andrea said, We only have one clue. It will be something that will make us smile. Josh said, I hope all this work. I hope it's It's worth all this work. Josh and Andrea came to the creek. It looks like we can cross here, said Andrea. She pointed to a space between the creek that was about 4 feet wide. I'll go first. She took a big step and was on the other side of the creek. Josh tried to follow her, but he slipped in the mud and fell right into the water. He jumped in a hurry and ran to the other side of the creek, where Andrea was waiting for him, laughing. I wonder if clue that what if that's what the clue meant. Andrea asked with a grin. Just died after an anger. How dare she laugh at him? Andrea could not stop giggling. She kept looking at the mud on his shoulder and face, and at his hair, and smiling. After a few minutes, Josh could not take anymore. He turned around and stomped off to the field, leaving his cousins looking confused. Jack, where are you going? Andrea thought. There was no reply. Andrea wasn't sure what to do. Should she keep looking for the treasure on her own? Should she go find her cousin? Finally, she decided to keep on hunting for the treasure. She walked through the tall grass and tried to remember where the map had said to go next. She thought she should go up the hill, so she started to climb that way. Pretty soon she got tired and took a big drink of water and wished she had the way. Pretty soon she got tired. He took a big drink of water and wished shared the bag with food in it. About the same time, Josh realized he was thirsty. He had stopped under a tree to eat some lunch, but did not have anything to drink. Dad wondered if he had done the right thing, but he left his home. If only she hadn't made him so mad. Pretty soon, both of Josh and Andrea saw that the sun was going down. They both started to get worried. Josh had the treasure map, but he didn't have the compass. Andrea had the compass, but no map would tell her to go. And it was dark. It was going to be dark soon. The two cousins started to call for each other. Josh, where are you? Yelled Andrea. Andrea, where did you go? Called Jack. He started to jog up a big hill looking for her. Just before the sun went down. Oh, Josh, I'm so worried about you. Andrea said. Yeah, me too, he replied. Look how late it's getting. We need to get back before Grandma gets worried. How will we get home, Andrea? I'm not sure where I am. Hey, I know. Josh said we can use the compass and the treasure map. We could figure out where we are now and then retrace our steps so we can find the farm. Andrea pulled out the compass and Josh held the map so they could both see it, working together. They figured out how to get back. Then they ran as fast as they could. Back to the farm. Pretty soon they could see the light in Grandma's kitchen. We made it, they exclaimed. They walked in the door. Their grandma turned to them. Well, she said, did you find your treasure? Andrea and Josh stopped for a while. Then they looked at each other and smiled. You know what? I think we did. The clue was right after all.
Nice job. High five. That was an awesome reading. All right, you ready to retell the story?
Yeah.
So, I want you to tell me or write. Would you rather tell me or write?
Tell me.
Tell me everything you remember about the story in order. Okay? Go for it.
Okay, so tell me everything I remember about the story.
Mm-hmm.
So two little girls, their parents dropped there was two kids and then their parents dropped them off at their grandpa and grandma's house. And then they went into the attic because there was lots of toys.
Okay.
His name was Andrea and Josh.
Okay.
So Andrea was the girl and Josh was the boy.
Okay. Josh.
So then Andrea's parents got Josh, which is Andrea's cousin. So then they went, and then Andrea's parents dropped them off at their grandparents' house. So they went in the attic to play with the toys, and then they found a treasure map.
Mm-hmm.
Then with the treasure map, they thought it was real. So then they went to their grandma and they asked their grandma if we can go. And the grandma said, in the morning tomorrow you can leave. So then Andrea, she went to sleep and she was lightly snoring. But Josh, he was so excited that he couldn't go to sleep.
Okay.
So he went to sleep a little bit later, but it took him a lot. Mm-hmm. So when it was morning time, Andrea woke up and then woke Josh up. Josh usually yells at Andrea when she tries to wake him up, but he didn't. Josh said that yeah, let's go. So then they went to their grandma, and then their grandma made them breakfast. They ate their breakfast, and then their grandma made them lunch so that they can go on an adventure. So their grandma made them peanut butter jelly sandwich with oranges and apple slices and water too. So they took a nap in a compass, and they went in the forest. Their grandma said, "Be back by sunset."
Nice job. That's awesome. Great details.
So then they came across a big creek, and there was a gap in the bridge that was over the creek. And Andrea went first, and she jumped across. Josh tried to jump across, but he got stuck inside of the mud, and then he fell into the water. Andrea started laughing, and then Josh got out and went and followed Andrea. But then Andrea kept laughing, so Josh went just stopping back, and then Andrea, she didn't have the lunch.
Okay.
Well, Andrea, she went to try and find Josh.
Okay.
But then, Andrea, she started getting hungry, but she only had the water and the compass.
Okay.
And Josh, he only had the food and the map.
Oh, wow.
So then they started looking for each other because they needed the water and they needed food. So they kept looking for each other, and then they found each other. And they gave each other water and they gave each other food. And they needed the compass and the map to lead them to where they had to go.
Good job.
And then it was sundown, and their parents said, "Be back by sundown for dinner." So they started to use the map and the compass to get back to their grandma's house. And then when they got back, their grandma said, "Did you find the treasure?" And then they were like, "I think we did." They giggled. And
so what was the treasure?
The treasure was like that how when at the point where like they were at the point when he fell in the mud and then like they were looking for each other. That's the treasure.
Oh, that's great. So was it like physical treasure that they found? What was the treasure?
Treasure because they realized that since they split up, they each had stuff that they needed, so you should stay together.
High five. That's great. Awesome. You got it. You got the lesson. Right? They needed each other. They were each other's treasure.
This was a big mistake.
You did a great job with the retelling. So the only,
You know what I said?
you have like 10 minutes still, but
I said for this, you could watch that again. I think I
Yeah.
did that.
you got it. I will. The only thing I would say, to get better on retelling is maybe thinking about what details need to be mentioned, right? Not everything needs to be retold. But I think you really did a great job because a lot of the things you said helped me understand what the story was about, right? Helped the listener understand. So that was really awesome.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so for the final, about we have 9 minutes, I want you to complete this writing passage. You're going to read, it's a really short excerpt, a really short passage, and you're just going to answer this question with the race strategy. So restate the question, right? I want you to really focus on restating, and then if you find the text information, right, the evidence.
So I forgot the race
Okay.
strategy.
Yep. So race, right? Restate. Answer the question. Cite your evidence. Cite the evidence. It comes from the text. And explain, right? Explain how your evidence answers the question. So what I want you to focus on right now is these three. RAC. Restating the question, answer the question, and tell me what information in the text helps you answer that. Okay? We'll work on explaining that later. So the question is teamwork important in handball? We'll restate that.
What is teamwork in handball? Teamwork
Is important in handball because, right? Good job. Go ahead and write that first. Teamwork is important in handball because, and then you're going to read to find out why. All right, now you're going to read this short excerpt and then answer the question.
Wait, the question of how to stand up team sport playing with the team. Is there something that teammates important? Yeah, Robbie.
Good. And now can you tell me, underline the words or information in the text that helped you answer your question? Ah,
I'm looking for the part that really okay. The team usually like the 7 players, so that means they need multiple
yeah.
players pass, so they have to be more than one person to be able to pass.
Gotcha.
Because they're not going to just pass it to the other team.
That's awesome. I love how you went back. You underlined the perfect information, right? So over here, players must jump or throw the ball from outside of the line to score a goal, right? So somebody has to be inside and outside of the court to score a goal. Good job. You restated. Good job. Awesome work. Alrighty. And that is all for today. You did an awesome job. So why don't you tell me what you're looking forward to for the rest of our sessions? Yeah. You like the reading and retelling? That's cool. Our next session, I can look at what we have to do for next week, and then we'll see if you like the reading passages. Did you like being able to choose which passage? I thought that would help, right? Getting to pick which one you like.
Thing I know at second.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Something. It was like first time on a playground.
Ooh, that sounds awesome. Okay. So I'll look at that for next
By
time.
yourself.
That sounds like a good one. I'll definitely look and see if that's part. If not, I can print it for you and you can still do it.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna end this here.